I think it's just perfect, just like it is. And I'd hate to see it. I'd hate to see a CG effects in it, you know, because they just are not as real as the real thing. The background of the moon was real background of the real moon that we photographed with a telephoto lens. This background is all fake because I wanted something that was better than we could have really ever seen in real life, so we could light it and get the colors right and get a really magical feeling that Stephen wanted, almost like a dream. And the way we did these was by making model bikes. We had 5 of them for the 5 kids that are flying.
I want to talk about this guy, this E.T. guy, because if he's not convincing as a character, you have no movie. And this is something that's a puppet. And I know we had a little item in Variety today that Dennis, you had said that on the set, he didn't look that great.
Until it moved, and it was like magic. I mean, right in front of you, something like this that's just sort of static. Suddenly, when all the puppeteers are working together and Steven's directing it, you see, oh my God, this is like a real thing. And then it takes over and it stops and goes back to being this puppet.
Well, when they were shooting E.T. go down at the set, it was just amazing because there was a din. You can't imagine the din of sound. There were 9 puppeteers off camera looking at their monitor. They were listening to Stephen direct them. They could see E.T. All the facial movements had to be in sync with each other. Just think about it. Blinking an eye. If you think about blinking your eye when you move your head, everything had to seem, I hate to use the word human, but we had to humanize him. So the puppeteers were doing a beautiful job. All the handwork, Stephen realized very early on that the handwork needed to be more realistic, so he used a mime artist for the hands. So we had different versions of E.T. There were the people in the suits, Pat Bylon, who was the main E.T. actor, who was actually inside one of the rubber suits from time to time. And then there were, I'm not sure how many puppets they had to work with. You would know, Dennis, on the set. And when they would shoot 1 roll of film at a time. That's 10 minutes. And they shot and shot and shot an individual motion again and again and again until they got it right. Go home. Phone home. Phone home. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 times until they got the arm going up and saying, phone home.
I was very new to mixing films when this project was put before us. And at times we would have I would have John Williams seated to my left, Stephen seated to my right, Buzz Knutson, the dialogue mixer, to his right, and then Bob Glass was beyond that, and the 5 of us would line up on the console. And some of these scenes were just so incredible. Stephen would be conducting a little louder, a little softer, all of this on my right side, and John would be over here sort of nodding or whatever, and I'd be looking at the scene, and we'd get a few new shots in the scene. That would always be the thing that would surprise us in those days. Now, when you mix a movie, usually all of the shots are there when you're actually mixing the movie, but we'd be pre-dubbing, we'd be getting things together for quite a long period of time, and there'd be sections where we'd be looking at leader, and there wouldn't be anything. It would just be sort of this pale yellow, there's a shot coming someday kind of reminder, or hopefully, exactly. And then on successive days, we'd have more shots, we'd have more things filled in, and we'd get to see more of what was actually going on. And anyway, mixing with John to my left and Stephen to my right and getting into some of these scenes, it was just remarkable because we'd all be feeling it. We'd all be experiencing it. Stephen would be conducting me. I'd have tears running down the side of my face, and we were living the experience of this movie as we were making it, or at least I certainly was. And I mean, I guess my cohorts had seen it many more times than I had, but it was an incredible experience.